Welcome. Today, we're going to break down something that's super important, but honestly, pretty overlooked when it comes to getting your business found online. Think of it as this silent force that can either make you a local hero or make you practically invisible. So let's kick things off with a question that I know keeps a lot of business owners up at night. You've got a great product, a great service, maybe even an amazing website. But why is it so hard for customers to actually find you? Or, what's even worse, why are they finding you, but it's your old address or a phone number that got disconnected 2 years ago? What's really fascinating about all this is that the problem, it's usually not on your website at all. Nope, it's hidden in plain sight, scattered all across the internet in places you've probably never even thought to look. And that brings us to the real culprit here, something called a local citation. The absolute best way to think about this is like a digital ID card for your business. So what the heck is a local citation? It's really just any time your business's key info gets mentioned online. Think about directories like Yelp, map apps, your social media profiles, or heck, even a local news article that talks about your grand opening. Every single one of those mentions is like a little digital footprint. And right at the heart of every one of these citations is a little acronym you absolutely have to burn into your brain. NAP. It stands for your business name, address, and phone number. Simple, right? But these three little things are the absolute bedrock of your entire online identity. Okay, so why do we care so much about this? Well, it's for two big reasons. First, for search engines. Think Google. When they see this consistent information everywhere, it builds what we call entity confidence. It's basically proof that you're a real business at a real location. And second, for your actual customers. Seeing the right info everywhere builds trust. It makes it a no-brainer for them to pick up the phone and call you. All right, so now we know what they are, but let's get into what makes a citation helpful versus, well, harmful, because they're not all created equal, and knowing the two main types is really key here.
And this slide breaks it down perfectly. On one hand, you've got your structured citations. These are the neat, tidy listings, right? Your profile on Yelp, for instance, everything's in its own little box. On the other hand, you have unstructured citations. These are more organic. Think a local blogger raving about your cafe. They're a little wilder, but both are super valuable signals.
So for any citation to actually work for you, it has to follow three really simple rules. Number one, accuracy. Your name, address, and phone number have to be exactly the same everywhere. Number two, completeness. Profiles that have your hours, some photos, a nice description, they're just so much more powerful. And finally, relevance. A listing on your local Chamber of Commerce website is worth 100 times more than a listing on some random spammy directory nobody's ever heard of.
Okay, let's keep going and look at the common mistakes that can completely sabotage all your efforts and actually send your customers running straight to your competitors.
Inconsistency. This is without a doubt the number one citation killer. If your old address is still floating around out there online, you're not just confusing Google, you're literally sending potential customers to the wrong place. It absolutely destroys trust and tanks your search rankings. And here's another huge one, duplicate listings. This happens all the time. Someone on your team creates a new Google business profile, not even realizing one already exists. What happens? You split your authority, you divide up your customer reviews, and you make it so much harder for Google to figure out which profile is the real one. It's a mess. So how do you fix this mess and take back control of your digital ID card? The good news is it's actually way simpler than you might think. It all boils down to a really clear two-step plan. The whole process is super logical. First, you have to audit. You have to find out what's already being said about you online. Then you fix all the incorrect stuff, you merge the duplicates. Seriously, fixing just a dozen broken listings can give you a bigger boost than building 20 new ones from scratch. After you've cleaned everything up, only then do you start building new, clean, consistent ones. Now, when you do start building, you've got to be strategic. Start with the big dogs, Google, Apple, Bing, Yelp. Nail those first. Then you can move on to industry-specific sites, like a directory for law firms if you're a lawyer, and then local directories, like your town's Chamber of Commerce. Remember, quality over quantity, always. This isn't just about getting better search rankings today. Getting your citations right is about building a rock-solid foundation for your business's entire digital identity, for today and for whatever comes next. People get these two mixed up all the time, citations and backlinks, but they do totally different jobs. Think of it this way. A backlink is like a vote of confidence for your website, but a citation, that's a confirmation of your business's real-world physical identity. You really need both, but they are not the same thing.
And this is so important. This clean, consistent data is what fuels the technology people are using every single day. We're talking map apps, voice assistants like Siri and Alexa, and all these new AI search tools. If your information is wrong, these platforms simply can't find you. You become invisible to a huge chunk of your potential customers.
See, getting this foundational piece right means that no matter how somebody searches for a business like yours, whether they're typing it, asking Siri, or using an AI, you're not just visible, you're verifiable, you're reachable, you're trustworthy. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, right now, what is your digital ID card saying about you?